All right, time for Chamber Talk here on a Monday morning, and Detra joins us. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, fantastic.
First question, I guess, is I haven't been out since a little before 6 this morning. How things have progressed as far as the streets and the roadways?
Well, I made it in from out the Lockridge area okay, and I'm always a little more nervous about the roads in town sometimes than the main highway. I get to travel 34, and really the most dicey part was pulling into my parking spot. So we'll see if I can pull out when I'm done here.
Yeah, I had the same thing coming in from the opposite direction, coming in from the west over near Batavia. And I mentioned there just around 6 o'clock, probably traveling 45 to 50 miles per hour, just because it was dark and I didn't know, but that would seem to be the flow of the traffic, and it's only going to get better as the day rolls on. Again, don't forget to go 511IA.org. That's the Iowa State Patrol and Iowa DOT website. They update those road conditions about every 10 minutes throughout the morning when things are getting nasty. Don't forget to sign up for the Monday morning newsletter, the week that will be, that comes to your email box every Monday morning, kind of give you an overview of what has happened at the Chamber the prior week and what's coming up in the week just ahead. You can do that by emailing the chamber at chamber at fairfieldiowa.com. And anytime you have questions during the business day, you can give them a call at 472-2111, 472-2111. Very light schedule this week, but we do have some things to kind of go back and talk about last week when we were on the air last week, a week ago today.
Yeah.
You talked about your annual board retreat, and can you kind of give us an update of what was discussed? First of all, what was the goal? What do you like to do at the retreats? Why do you host retreats?
Well, there's a couple goals with having that each year. First is to orient the new board members and get them kind of onboarded so they can hit the ground running as we get into our business for the year. And then secondly is to really talk about planning and visioning for the upcoming year. What do we want to accomplish? Set some goals, and then we can assess those goals as we go through the year. This year we held the retreat out at Whitetail Country Estates, which is one of our chamber members. And it was probably, most people remember it as the former Camp Golden Valley out north of Lockridge. And it's a beautiful venue, and I'm just impressed with all the different venues that we have around for weddings and events, and they also host hunting groups and such. But we had a lovely day and covered a lot of ground, met from 9 to 4, and came away with a lot of tangible outcomes to discuss for the upcoming year.
I imagine one of the topics that you talked about, and again we're talking to Detra Dettmann here from the Fairfield Area Chamber of Commerce, was some of the changes in the events that you've had, and not overall, not grand changes, but maybe the execution of how things have been done.
Yeah. What we've talked about was the chamber has a long history. We actually turned 90 years old this year. Hard to believe, same age as Queen Elizabeth. And there's been a lot of long-standing events and a lot of tradition. And the chamber certainly had to change over our existence. We weren't at the same organization we were back in the 20s or the 50s or the 70s. And so we want to make sure our events continue to be relevant today as well. So kind of a two-step process. First is looking at each event, those traditional events, and making sure they're still relevant today. And if we feel like they're still worthwhile and present value, then how do we sort of tweak them to make sure they maximize their value that they give? Or are they really serving their purpose as is? So looking at everything kind of on a case-by-case basis.
As you look back again to last Thursday's retreat, some of the main topics that you discussed maybe, or there points that, I know you had an agenda, but there were points that some of the board members wanted to bring up and discuss as well?
Well, we really focused a lot on member value. So we are a membership-driven organization. Without our members, we don't exist. So we have to serve our members. And we talked about the fact that each chamber is unique. There's a chamber in Mount Pleasant, there's a chamber in Ottumwa, but we all have different members, and so what we need how we need to be tailored for our members is unique. And so making sure we provide value to our members, and some of those main themes that we are able to provide is that we promote and advocate for our members. We are able to be a source of information for them because of our network, and we also provide referrals. We're still kind of the first stop for a lot of folks when they come to a community. We also provide networking, which is key for finding customers for your business. It's all about relationships, and I think the chamber does that better than anyone else.
As you discuss strategy and plans, do you put together a 1 year, a 5 year, a 7 year plan, or are those things in the abstract?
We're looking at just a 1 year, and part of that's because I'm new and kind of getting things settled. And also, we've got some major things kind of to take care of right away. One is updating our marketing materials. And also, we're also looking at our membership structure as far as the due structure. And we've seen some other chambers where they do kind of a value add where you are able to renew at a little higher level and include some sponsorships, and so it's kind of a one-stop shop at membership renewal time instead of maybe being asked to consider sponsoring things throughout the year.
I know you're still trying to dissect and vet things out, but the overall feedback from board members and new board members?
I'm hearing really positive things, really positive things. We're also looking at restructuring just the board operations a little bit too, to really streamline how the board gets together and provides input. I basically get them 12 hours a year to really focus on the main business of the chamber. And so how do we make sure that that time is really honed in on the business at hand? And then how do we use committees to look at some of the other things between meetings and get them involved there through email and so forth?
I was just going to bring up email and working socially in that aspect. I mean, that's when there is a subject, whether it's through a committee or a subcommittee, how effective are tools such as email to try to get a consensus to push things along instead of trying to get everybody together in a room?
It has worked pretty well. It's only as good as the people that respond to it. But with this board of directors compared to some of my previous boards and other work, everyone's very savvy with it, and it works extremely well. Also, I think because we are all focused around Fairfield, we can get together sometimes for a special meeting at noon and lunch and meet and get through some business too if we need to.
All right.
Yeah.
Again, the annual retreat was this past week. It'll be interesting to see what comes out of that. And as you put your 1 year plan together and that expands to 3 and 5 years, it'll be interesting to see how the chamber progresses forward.
Yeah, and I've been providing our members from the director's desk email that I kind of try to give them insight as to what's going on. And as I get my notes together collectively, then I'm excited about sending a message out to the members about that so that they know exactly what happened and where we're headed.
All right, it's Chamber Talk here on a Monday morning, and let's move on down the list. A member-to-member discount this week.
Yes, this week is Headquist Productions. Get 50% off entertainment for your next company event with songs, stories, and humor. So that's a fantastic discount for our chamber members. Headquist Productions.
I was watching football over the weekend, and the TV commercial comes on. I went, oh, I know that voice. And it was Jeffrey.
I know, isn't that fun?
Yes, it is a lot of fun. So again, find out more at fairfieldiowa.com. All right, we talked about this last week, but we are in the first month of the year, and business after hours typically is, there's one a month, and so they fill up quite quickly. I know you have a few openings, but if someone is interested or wants more information about hosting a business after hours, where it's at, why you do it, they can contact you. Give us more information.
Yep, you can call our office, 472-2111, or if you're just curious what months are open, you can also go to our website at fairfieldiowa.com. Look under the events, business after hours, and you can see the slots, see who hosted in 2016, and then how the calendar is shaping up for 2017.
Every year as I get older, it seems like the years go by quicker and quicker, and there's little markers throughout the year. You know, oh, it's here already. One of those is this weekend. That's our first legislative forum.
Yes, we're very excited about this. This is one of those events we talked about that we are revamping a little bit, and this year it's going to be held at the Fairfield Public Library. And instead of offering a breakfast, we will just have rolls and coffee as refreshments. Some things that haven't changed, it's still the third Saturday of each month, so that means the first one is coming up this Saturday, January 21st. It's still held pretty early in the morning, 7:30 to 9 a.m. And we are still sponsoring high school students from the two high schools in town, from the event sponsors, and to give those folks a chance to get a closer look at the legislative process in action. I'd like to highlight our sponsors, Edwards Jones Investments, Brian Olson, Morrissey Law Office, Iowa State Bank and Trust, First National Bank, Veterinary Clinic PC, and then the two school districts, MSAE and Fairfield Community School District.
You know, one thing I'd like to mention to those who plan to attend the legislative forum on Saturday morning at 7:30, and first of all, people say, oh, that's awful early.
Yeah.
It is awful early. But remember, we're trying to coordinate 4 legislatures. Also, they have other obligations on Saturday. I know a couple of them travel to Mount Pleasant, a couple of them travel back to Washington for other legislative forums and meet with constituents. The one thing I wanted to bring up, when I go, I find that things kind of get bogged down as people talk about national issues. They want to talk about national issues, and this is a chance to talk about state and local issues with your state and local representatives. There's no reason to burden and bog down the meeting with Kurt Hansen maybe talking about the building of a wall or something of that nature. So let's keep this to state and local issues that they would handle in Des Moines.
Yep, because that's what they can affect. So, and I also want to make sure folks know this is free and open to the public. Many of our events are meant for chamber members. This is a service we are providing to the entire community. So we look forward to seeing you there.
Again, Saturday morning, 7:30, Fairfield Public Library. Then mark your calendar, February 18th, March 18th, and April 15th is the next batch of legislative sessions after this Saturday.
Yeah, and if you'll note, we normally have only sponsored 3 of these in the past. So when I talked to the legislators, I said, I noticed some of the other surrounding communities offered 4. And I said, well, that's when it really gets exciting, is towards the end of the session. So we're pleased to be able to offer one in April this year as well.
All right, I see a headline here that says Ag Lunch and Learn on Friday.
Yes, the Chamber is pleased to be sponsoring a series of Ag Lunch and Learns with some of our partners, including Iowa State University Extension and Outreach, and also the Jefferson County Farm Bureau. And the first one is coming up this Friday, January 20th. And it's focusing on Iowa's water quality, how it impacts you. This will be held at the Fairfield Arts and Convention Center, and it's going to be from noon to 1 p.m. And lunch is provided, but you do need to pre-register. There's limited space, and they want you to register by January 18th, which is Wednesday, by calling the Extension office at 472-4166. Now, specifically, when we're talking about water quality, we're going to be focusing on Iowa's nutrient reduction strategy. And I worked with this a lot in my former job at Pathfinder's Resource Conservation Development with several projects in southeast Iowa. So this is really looking at the nitrate challenges that we have in the state and how the nutrient reduction strategy has been put into place. And I'll be looking at the progress with that strategy, and then what are some of those practices that farmers or there are even urban practices that are being installed to help address the issue.
All right, so that's on Friday.
Yes.
Again, it's Chamber Talk here on a Monday. I know that you have a relatively new Chamber member, Iowa Advocates for Mental Health and Recovery, and they have a event coming up, a workshop on Friday and Saturday.
Yes, and our actual member is Hope for Life, but they're working with that group you just mentioned. And Hope for Life really works on, again, with mental health. And when I mentioned them earlier, is about suicide prevention, and they've got a really unique role in helping folks connect with existing resources that are out there. And they've got a couple of workshops coming up. Friday, January 20th from 9 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. at First National Bank. And that's going to be, there's scholarships available, but it's $15 and includes lunch. And another one on Saturday the 21st, again from 9 a.m. to 4:15 p.m. And that's going to be at the Jefferson County Health Center in the conference room. And what they're going to be focusing on these workshops are discussion-based workshops facilitated by people who have lived experience of recovery. So whether you've been through some mental health challenges yourself or it's a family member, this is a great way to just share with others that have had a common experience. Some of their topics they're going to cover include recovery, resiliency, hope and support, health disparities and barriers to recovery, and the critical importance of a holistic approach.
All right, and the information, the contact information, more information can be found online?
Yes, we have the flyer, and also it's www.iowarecovery.org/workshops. But you'll also be able to find a copy to a link to the event on our calendar, or you can call our office if you're having any troubles at all.
Speaking of calendar, it's sparse this week, so let's jump into it.
It is. Aside from what we've already talked about, we've got a couple of the Dance It Out sessions that we've mentioned, again at MUM, RGO Dance Room. The first one's coming up Wednesday on the 18th, and that's at 7 p.m. And then again on Sunday at 3 p.m. And in case you forgot what this program is about, it's a low-impact cardio dance fitness class inspired by Zumba. And it's $5 for adults, and students are able to attend for free.
Okay. Boy, that is a short calendar.
It really is.
Yeah.
So if folks have other events, please contact the chamber, or if you're a member, you're able to just log on and upload your event all by yourself and make sure you've got all the information in there just like you want it.
For those of you who might have missed it, real quickly, who, what, where, when, and why on the Ag Lunch and Learn on Friday.
The Ag Lunch and Learn is at the Convention Center from noon to 1. Lunch is provided if you pre-register. Space is limited. Register by Wednesday by calling the Extension office at 472-4166.
And then mark your calendar, Saturday morning, 7:30 to 9, Fairfield Public Library, the first of 4 legislative forums. And again, that's a new location and sort of a new format as well. And again, it's the Fairfield Public Library, 7:30. They're in the meeting room as you walk in the door right to the right at the Fairfield Public Library. All right,
Right
teacher,
on.
thank you for your time today.
Thank you.
And stay safe out there.
You as well.
It's 5 minutes before the top of the hour. We have a look at the markets just around the corner here on KMCD.